Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we have the first 6 tracks of the TFC bundle series, whatever you guys want to call it, and today we're going to be going through rating different aspects of the track out of 10 and just the overall tracks. This right here is Rancho Cordova, California, aka Hangtown, my hometown race. Actually headed there in 3 weeks from now, so should be a really fun time. But I actually found myself enjoying this track. It was pretty good. As a first track, it wasn't disappointing to ride. This was the first track I rode out of them all, and it wasn't really disappointing. I've done races on all these tracks, including this one, so it was fun to kind of make my way around it. Obviously, this isn't the up-to-date version, so I can't really tell you the accuracy, like scaling, anything like that. So we do have some different kind of aspects here to rate the track on, so we'll save that for about the last 20 seconds here of this clip. I'm just showing you guys laps here. These aren't fast laps by any means, just kind of making our way around the track, kind of showing you guys the way that it all goes, you know, kind of showing you guys just the track in general. So it should be fun to kind of go through the first 6. Trojan was originally gonna do the next 6 for you guys, but he said that I can do it all. So that might be tomorrow's video, or that might be a video for another time, depending on how much you guys like this one. So hopefully you guys obviously do like this one. It should be pretty well liked across the community. I'm pretty sure some of you guys might want to know about them. We'll hop over onto the ratings. We'll go ahead and take a little look. They're going to pop up on your screen now, and it's an overall 7.5 out of 10 track. I didn't mind it. It wasn't the worst track I've ever gone around. It was definitely a lot of fun to kind of learn, and you know, obviously overall just a good track. This is a good score in my opinion. Looks 6 out of 10. It's not overly, you know, dull or anything. Ruts, there just wasn't too many ruts, but the ones that are on here were okay, and some of them were just not usable or relevant. E-Road's quite nice. Like I mentioned, I race on all these, so I know what the E-Road is kind of like. Flow, there's good flow, and it races quite well. On to Paula now. This one was a lot different. It was really weird. It's a lot sand, like it's a lot of sand textures. I think it's a sand track in general. I do run the sand tires on it. It seems to help a bit, so I don't know what's up with that. It's not quite sand. This is probably my least favorite track in the whole series, and a lot of it does have to do with the textures on the ground. So it was an overall like good track, like as far as layout goes and replicating Paula. But as far as in the game, it just wasn't that great to me. Like I mentioned, I think this is my least favorite track of the series. There's a bunch of just weird physics you can get just going around the track, and that quite sucks as well. But there is just not a lot to like about this track. I think that there's probably even more to hate than there is to like and or love about this track, and there's not a whole lot that that can change my mind. I mean, obviously it's got some good corners here and there, but some of the ruts are pretty atrocious, and some of them, you know, aren't even usable. But the first half of the track I wouldn't have a problem with. Like obviously the textures, like I said, brings it down a lot, but the middle and last half of this track, I'd say, is pretty harsh, and that kind of tanks its overall rating and whatnot. So there are good parts over here and there. I'll show you my favorite part when we get to it, but let's look at the ratings first. It is an overall 5 out of 10. Kind of sucks. Looks 5 out of 10. It's not real detailed, but I do like the overall, like, surroundings, you know, all that good stuff. Ruts 3 out of 10. The last half of the track sucks. E-Road, I've ridden this in E-Road and it's horrible. 5.5 out of 10 on flow. If you can stay up for 3 laps, I'm sure that flow would feel quite nice. This is my favorite part of the track right here, and that's that. Raceability was 4 out of 10 for me. I raced this track and it wasn't great. Now on Thunder Valley, aka Lakewood, I think Lakewood, Colorado. So I'm pretty sure that's what this one's called. It's for copyright reasons. You obviously can't use the real, you know, national name, but this is a fun track. This is personally one of my favorites, especially on a bigger bike. You can take a 450 or 350 on here and it'd be quite nice. I look for a good line up this hill, but unfortunately I wasn't able to absolutely nail it on this go around. But you can kind of wheelie up and then jump up here, but this up here at the top was kind of a a choke by me. I had a good thing going, but unfortunately couldn't really come out of that the cleanest. Headed down this hill, you go over here into second. I chose to go inside here, and then you can triple kind of up this hill. So you go triple, then you kind of double up the rest. But on the 450, you can quad in, if you would like to call it a quad, and you can kind of double up the rest as well. And that to me is a lot more fun. You can get it on the 250, but you need a lot of power behind you and all that good stuff. It's got a lot of hills. This is probably the track that you would get the most Poboso physics. If I speaking from personal experience, if I were to count from all of the tracks, I think that this one's probably giving me the most Pobobi physics, which is a little unfortunate considering it is one of my favorites. I do like the outside in this corner, but the inside is just sheerly faster, and it might be a little bit more rough than people want. So that outside is completely viable, and it's not too much slower, but it is what it is. Up here, I did get a little squirrely, I'm not going to lie. Didn't end up, like I took this take, and I didn't really, hop out of the rut. We'll look at the overall. It's an 8 out of 10. It's just a really fun track. Looks 6.5 out of 10. It was not bad. Ruts 8 out of 10. Some really good ones that can hook you in and really help you rail. E-Road 7 out of 10. E-Road's quite nice. Flow, it's not the flowiest. Like I said, you do get a lot of Pobobi physics, but the overall raceability and whatnot, not a whole lot of like signified pass lines and whatnot, so it's not horrible, but it races fine. And on to one of my personal favorites, if not my personal favorite, Jacksonville, Florida. Obviously, this one is, I think, WW Ranch, and it is a really fun one to kind of go around on. It has some of the best ruts in the whole entire bundle / series. It is a hell of a lot of fun. For sure, you can kind of flow around the track. You can see a lot of speed. You can carry a lot more than I am currently on this this recording here, but I don't know, it's always been a fun one. Clicked with it about 10 or so laps in, and then never really got old from there. But I do realize this one's probably played the most. It's probably overplayed around there. That is such a crisp rut and crisp corner. I love it so much. And yes, you can actually hit it faster, and this isn't the best way to go about this line right here either. I do mind that inside, like I don't mind it, I should say. I don't mind that inside. It's really nice, that little inside roller you guys saw there, but kind of get a nice feel for it. You get over this and then headed into the roller section. What's coming up after this next straightaway is also really fun, and I didn't nail that corner as well either. Barely getting up and over, do my thing into this corner. This right here, you can kind of plant your back wheel before the first one and see what I mean right there, and then you can kind of hop, bounce, and find your flow through those rollers. Try to hit this corner nice and okay, it wasn't great, and then this next corner is always a bunch of fun if you hit it the right way. I didn't quite, but let's look at the ratings real quick. Put it up on the screen. 9 out of 10. It's just really good. Looks 9.5. It's really bright. It's got different soil types. It's pretty good. Ruts 9 out of 10. You guys have seen how much how good they are, basically. And then E-Road 7 out of 10 again, same as Thunder Valley. Flow 9 out of 10. If you can get into consistent flow, it's like it's unlike anything else. Raceability, it races real well. I've probably done the most races on this one and enjoyed it the absolute most. So. Next is Mount Morris. I'm pretty sure it's Pennsylvania. This one was probably the second most annoying one. I'd say the next one after this, Southwick, was the worst, but this one was definitely the second worst to get a clean lap down, and it was due to like purely just unfamiliarity with the track. I just haven't ridden this one as much as the others, and this one, it's not a bad track by any means. I like it. It's good. It's not overkill. There's some good parts about it. I did leave a crash in on this lap because I was so fed up with trying to do a lap. I think it was about 4 laps. I couldn't get like a single clean one, and like I said, these aren't specifically fast laps, so I was particularly mad that I couldn't put in a slow, like consistent, stay upright type of lap. So that was a little annoying, if you will, and so I ended up just kind of railing around, hitting all the obstacles. I think I did use the inside here. I did. That was quite a bit of fun. I didn't mind that at all. And then headed up this hill, I did get this inside, which was kind of huge. I don't know how much better it is from the outside, but I do elect to take the outsides if I'm going to race on this track. It tends to just work out better. You get less of a chance of anything dumb happening, dealing with, Poboso or anything like that. Maybe another player might come up the inside, might think that they're faster, whatever. Let's look at the ratings real quick. 6 out of 10 overall for me. Like I said, it's not great. Looks 7 out of 10. It's a great look for sure. All over, you get to see all the surroundings. It's nice and green, all that. Ruts is a 7 out of 10. We're about to head into one of my favorites down here that unfortunately I tucked the front in. So there's that. And then 6 out of 10 E-Road. It wasn't horrible. Overall flow of the track 2, it wasn't bad, but it definitely could have been better. Race ability, it's a 6 out of 10 for me. Now, Southwick, like I mentioned, had given me the most trouble. I had gone down, I think, 3 times in the first 4 corners or so of this track. That really haunted me when I was trying to just put down a lap, all right? And I wasn't even going fast. I wasn't even trying to get out of there. I wasn't even accelerating too fast. So I really wish sand tracks worked a little better in MX bikes, because if they did, this might be a really good track. But unfortunately, sand isn't the best, and neither is this track. It was I guess alright. It wasn't my favorite, but it was okay. It wasn't anything to go and you know, race voluntarily. You know, if it pops up in a track rotation, sure, go ahead, you'll race it. And obviously it's good practice. If you do struggle on a track, you know, it's good to go race it. So it's actually something to look forward to. If you don't like or you suck at a track, it's a good thing to look forward to riding it more, because it gives you that challenge. It gives you that everything you need to get a little bit faster. So it can always help you improve, and I think that this track is a good one to learn sand on if you guys would like to go do it. It wasn't my favorite. It looks like sand tracks in this don't E-road all that well either, so that was a big downside of this track as well. I was riding on 0.75 deformation, and that seems to be okay, I guess, for most, but even in the sand it seems a bit overkill. So if you're going to ride in the sand, I definitely recommend low E-road, as we'll pop up the ratings. Overall 5 out of 10, not my favorite. Looks 8 out of 10. It's a great looking track. It's got a lot of great trees, green, all that good stuff around. Ruts were a 4 out of 10. They weren't real steady. You couldn't really trust them, especially with the sand physics and whatnot. E-road 3 out of 10. I already mentioned all that. Flow, sure, if you established a flow around here, it wouldn't be the worst, so I gave it above 50%. And then raceability 4 out of 10. I would never look forward to racing this. See you guys next time. Hopefully you guys liked and enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.